is important.
Wonderful morning to you all listening into the Happy World of 5FM radio. And if you are also listening to this voice, you are either listening to us from Spice FM 91.1 in Kabwe and Central Province. Also, you are listening to us from iWave FM radio in Chungola, covering the rest of the Copper Belt on 90.1. Don't forget, we are also live on Tuta FM in Mansa. Meaning that Wapula province is well covered as well. Muchinga Radio is one of them. And remember, Tuta FM is on 90.7 FM. And Muchinga Radio in Chisali, covering the rest of Muchinga province, is on 88.1. Don't forget, today we have another radio station added to the platform. And this is Rooster FM in Indola, on 91.3 FM, is also carrying this program live. And in Lusaka and the surrounding areas, this is 5FM Radio on 89.9. We are also live on our Facebook page, that is 5FM Radio Zambia, also our YouTube channel. All right, so our guest this morning is former Lusaka Province Minister and former Kabushi Member of Parliament in Mr. Bowman Lusambo. And I'm your host, Zachariah Banda. Later on in the course of the program, I will give you, our listeners, an opportunity to call in and interact with our guest. Mr. Lusambo, always a pleasure to have you. Good morning and welcome to the Burning Issue.
Good morning, Zach. Good morning, the listeners and viewers out there. And I'm very excited to be back at this important media platform. And first and foremost, I want to send my sincere condolences to the Mwanawasa and the Kakubo family on the loss of our mother, Maureen Kakubo Mwanawasa, the first lady of this Republic of Zambia. And I also want to say I lost my good friend, Matthews Ngosa, who passed on, and we had put him to rest. And I want to say, may his soul continue resting in eternal peace. I'm happy once more to be here, and I want to say that I'm come here to interact with 1 million Zambians, and I hope and trust that our interaction will be productive.
Indeed. Thank you very much. I mean, any memories, fond memories that you have of the former First Lady?
Former First Lady, for me, she's my mother. As you might be aware, the Mwanawasas and the Lusambos and the Kakubos, we are a family. I'm Lamba by tribe. From the other side, from my father's side, I'm also Lenje as well. So we as Lambas, Lenjes, we have lost a mother.
And so, you were MMD at the time, and President Mwanawasa was president of the party.
Yes.
You must have really interacted that close.
Yeah, we did. We did interacted with the former First Lady in many occasions, especially when we have in public rallies. She would come and encourage us, guys. Let us work hard. Let us support President Mwanawasa, because his aim is to transform this country, is to make sure that he gives good life to all Zambians. And she emphasized on the fight against corruption. She also emphasized on agriculture, because President Mwanawasa wanted to transform the agriculture sector so that the people of Zambia could benefit, and the region at large. That's why we saw President Mwanawasa as Minister of Agriculture by then, Mr. Sikatana, who really wanted to continue growing our indigenous maize seeds. And he was there one day in his office trying to show off to the outside world But for us as Zambians, we don't want to engage ourselves in hybrid seeds. We want our indigenous seeds. He was showing off when we saw our carrot, maize seeds, and all this, and also the embarking on winter farming. Those were Mwanawasa's part of his legacy. And Madame Maureen, she could engage us in all those issues as young men in politics. And she would say, look here, it's not always that when you finish school, you have to hire for jobs in government or in parastatal companies. By then, Zesco was doing fine, Zamtel was doing fine, and many other parastatal companies. She told us, no, you have to think outside the box. It is not always about white-collar jobs. You need to venture into agriculture and aquaculture, so that you can also employ other youths and other citizens of this country. So we interacted with her, where by then the Chipos, the Lubonos, they were very, very young. And I continued to interact with her family after the demise of President Mwanawasa, and the time when Chipo was at KCM. We were interacting with Patrick. We have been interacting with Kakuwo before even became the member of parliament for Kapirimposhi. We have been interacting with them. To me, that's my family.
You are one of the people that were very strong against Kakubo as member of parliament for Kapiri. I remember very well. You were very strong, and you castigated that seat.
Yes.
Why? What was the whole idea?
The whole idea.
If at the end of the day he was his family.
Yes, Kakubo and I, we are family, and I wanted that seat as a PF, and we were doing politics, and beyond politics, we used to meet, we used to laugh, we used to joke, even in parliament. When he came to parliament, he was saying, Boroman, you wanted your brother to fail in Kapirimposh. And I told him, yes, that was my responsibility as PF mobilization chair. My aim and my responsibility was to add more numbers to our party. By then, more numbers into parliament. That was my core responsibility. But apart from that, we used to interact, and we still interact with the former minister Kakubo. We still interact. We laugh because we are one at the end of the day.
There's been talk around, especially following your press briefing, which you had recently. You raised quite a number of issues, but is how you have been praising HH's leadership, but castigating his ministers. As you playing double standard, it's like you want to play nice to HH so that he can probably get rid of some of his ministers and chance yourself in. That's been the talk. How do you defend yourself with that?
Leadership is more like a family setup.
Right.
Your father could be a pastor, your mother a police officer, but you have criminals in that house. You have people who be doing things away from the norms of that family. And when you cascade the family members and you say they are not like their father, it doesn't mean that you are playing double standards, because their father is a pastor and has been preaching, and he has preached to those children in that house that prostitution is wrong, stealing is wrong, insulting is wrong. But you see some of the kids, they go out there to prostitute, they go out there to steal people's properties or engaging themselves in other illicit activities. It doesn't mean that even their parents are like that. It doesn't mean that. So I've been in government before, for 5 years.
Right.
By this time, Zach, I can boast that I know the government system. I know the government operatives because I worked closer to State House. I worked with the entire government system. Remember, as minister of the province, I've had access to intelligence report, had access to police report, I had access to military report. I had access to everything because I was working with that team in the province. I have the OP who are working under me or who are working with me, the police, military, ZNS, correction service, and ZAF. I had an opportunity to work with all those people. And to sum up all this, I had an opportunity to work direct with the secretary to the cabinet. So for me, I knew and I know the government system.
So you think current ministers don't?
The current ministers,
yeah,
most of them, they are learning. They are doing job on training. They are learning.
Which is fine.
Which is okay.
You also, at one point, it was your first time to be in government.
Exactly.
And you were learning.
Exactly.
So you can't,
so
based on that, you can't
if you are learning,
interrogate your friends. You can't tell your friends they have failed when they are.
It's more like football, Zach. Okay, we have new and old players in the team. And here's the coach who wants to try the new players also to showcase their skills. And we can see that, okay, this one is not ticking. So he can't perform at number 6. He can't perform. He can't endure the 45 minutes. He can't endure the 90 minutes. So the coach will make a decision so that they can consolidate, they can put energy in that team by removing that player at that particular time, putting in another person who can also showcase his or her skills in that particular position. So for me, my advice to President Hakainde Hichilema, I know how presidency operates. I've been with different presidents. I was with President closely with President Lupia Banda. I worked with President Chiluba away from government. I worked with President Sata in government. Most of you didn't even know that I was working with President Sata, but people like George Chela, people like Chiluba Nama, people like Mr. Chipoya, Mr. Chalavesa. Those people, they can attest to my testimony that I really worked with President Sata while in State House. I used to go to State House to meet President Sata. I worked under President Lungu, and as a minister for President Lungu, I was one of his advisors. In many areas, I could go to President Lungu and discuss issues to do with the economy. And for me, I was dealing with a province which is number one by then, a contributor to the national treasury. So we had sectors in that province of agriculture, sectors of aquaculture, sectors of mining and forestry. So I could go to President Lungu and discuss these issues with him. So I know how President operates. Most of the time, President operates through what word can I use? The president sometimes they can be manipulated by their own people. They listen to so many voices. As you might be aware, that office is an institutional office. An institutional office implies that the president has a lot of obligation and a lot of information which comes to him. Sometimes the president can even see that this minister is not ticking. There will be another person who will come. No, if you fire this minister, the implications are ABCD. So most of the time, presidents they operate under manipulation.
So what's your advice to?
My advice to President Hakainde Hichilema, having worked in State House as a minister or so, because as a province, I was working closely to State House. I know that most of the times, those people around the president, if they are not advising the president correctly, the president will not perform. The president is a last man in the line of defense. And we wanted, we wanted President Lungu to keep quiet so that he can concentrate on other national issues. But what I've seen in our colleagues' governance system, they want the president to be coming out and defend himself, for the president to start explaining on issues to do with the development. The president's job is to make sure that he continues giving the political will to institution of governance and also to give a hope and confidence to the people of Zambia. What is the responsibility of the ministers? The responsibility of the ministers is to come to us. We have a minister of agriculture as an example. It is not upon to the president or on the president to come and explain the difficulties and the achievements in the agriculture sector. It is upon the minister himself, the permanent secretary, and their subordinates. The minister or the Ministry of Agriculture, they have a national office, they have the provincial office, they have the district office, and they have the field extension officers. And those people's responsibility is to come to us and explain to us the challenges which the ministry is facing. It's not up to the president. The president will give a political will to the minister, and the minister will come out. The minister will go to Sinazongwe, the minister will go to Mpongwe, the minister will go to Lufuanyama to go and have the first-hand information. We don't need actually agriculture minister to be putting on period sorts. That is not his portion. The agriculture minister is supposed to be, his job is to go down there to go and compare notes. The notes which is at a national level compared to the notes which is at a provincial level, at a district level, at that extension officer's level, so that when they're making decisions, they will be making decisions to incorporate everyone, okay? If they don't have information, they will be giving us a wrong data, and we needed a data which will help the country. So when we advise, we know what we are talking about. Zach, you are talking to the minister, the former minister, who was a field minister.
Yeah, but
my responsibility was to get the first-hand information, so that as I'm talking to the president, as I'm talking to the vice president, as I'm sharing with the secretary to cabinet, the information should be accurate.
But yes, we agree you've been very critical of the current ministers,
yes.
But you've also been selective, and you've been pointing out,
yes,
you've been personal. For example,
not personal.
Criticized the Minister of Transport and Communication, and in this case, Frank Tayali, on several occasions as well.
Before Frank Tayali,
also Copper Belt Minister.
Before Copper Belt Minister, Zach, I've been criticizing ministers, and these are Minister of Health, by then, Honorable Sylvia Masebo, because she 100% failed in that ministry. And to me, I didn't expect Honorable Masebo to have a ministerial position again. I would love Honorable Masebo to continue as a member of the UPND and the positions which she held in the UPND to help President Hakainde Hichilema in another field, and this is a field of politics. As a minister, she has failed. She has literally failed as a minister. We are short of manpower in this country, including you, Zach. You can be appointed as a minister of health. There are no qualifications whatsoever to the office of the minister. There are no qualification. The only qualification which is there is upon the president himself to see to it that you are capable to deliver in that particular ministry. There are no qualifications whatsoever.
So if you had pointed out the Minister of Health at the time, can you list down which ministries, which ministers you feel are underperforming?
Exactly. The Minister of Health by then, she was 100% underperforming. There are a lot of talks in that ministry. A lot of talks. There's a lot of talks of 61 medical containers. There are a lot of talks in that ministry. Okay.
Secondly, which ministry?
The Minister of Mines. Okay. A Minister of Mines is not the office minister. The Minister of Mines is a field minister. We don't have mines operating in our offices beyond with those air cons. The ministry is to go to Chingola. Why are we having in Chingola? What are we supposed to do as a country to open up the untapped areas where we could benefit as a country in terms of minerals? We have been talking about having breakthroughs in oil explorations. The Minister of Energy would have worked with the Minister of Mines hand in hand to go out there, not to be putting on those boss suits. Okay, those are not the collect crores to those ministries. The Minister of Mines, Minister for Energy, Minister for Agriculture. Okay, to me, President Hakainde Hichilema would have dropped Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Energy by then, Minister of Health by then, Ministry of Mines. These people, they were supposed to be out of the ministerial positions, and would have seen the new crops in these ministries, would have seen, as UPND, they have enough.
Let me stay with mines. Yes. Why would you want to get rid of a minister of mines?
Very good.
When under his leadership,
yes,
we've seen KTM come back to life, Mapani come back to life, and these are arguments that that everybody else is saying. Lumwana is stable and back, and they are reinvesting. You want to give credit to
the reason why you have to remove the Minister of Mines. The president's supposed to get rid of him. One, we had a case with the Rumwana, the Kansanshi of this, the Karumbila of this world, and that case of billions of dollars, which was supposed to be paid to the Zambian people, and this money, it is not there. The case was won by Mr. Kasolo by then, and what was supposed to be done is just to effect that court decision for us to get our money back from this Kalumbila and Kansanshi owners. Okay, that is government's money. That is people's money, and the minister has been quiet over that. And it is a responsibility of the minister to work on behalf of the people of Zambia. Okay? And the issue to do with KCM, the people of Zambia, they are saying, we want to start operating KCM. We want to start operating Mopani. Okay? Because we are ready. We have all the capacity to operate Mopani, to operate KCM. Zach, KCM, they don't have money. They go to look for money. And us as government and Zambians, we can go and look for the same money. In some instances, they want to get the money and we also be the signatory to that money. Okay? Those are investors, the foreign investors. They're supposed to come with their own money and partner with our people so that we can have a 50-50 in the operation of our mines in this country. We should not be celebrating that KCM is about to kick off Mopani. Those mines were supposed to be our own mines for you and me and the many millions Zambians. So the Zambian people today, at this age and era, who are supposed to be boasting that we have our own mining firm, which is producing so much, and all the proceedings or the proceeds to these mines, it is going straight into our commercial banks. By doing so, we would have sorted out a lot of things. If you have millions of dollars in our commercial banks sitting in those accounts in their commercial banks, definitely the rate of the dollar will come down, because this thing is more about demand and supply. It's a straightforward thing. Okay, so the Minister of Mines, he has failed the people of Zambia. He's not ticking. So there is nothing.
If you've got those ministers that you are saying have failed, and the president is not doing anything about it, how then do you get to praise the president? Why do you praise the president?
I'm saying here that the president is supposed to be managed, and the president, he has advisors, and these advisors can break or make the president. And if the advisors, they are not advising collectively, the president will be broken. And in this case, if the president is not getting advice, correct advice from the advisors, then it's up to himself, because all of us will now wait for the president to act. In politics, we don't look at faces. In politics, we don't look at faces. As a president, if you're looking at the face of somebody, you're gone. In our time as government, the President Lungu, he had made several decisions. He fired Honorable Kambwili, he fired Honorable Chilufya, he fired Honorable Kazia, he fired Honorable Mawere, he fired Honorable Emeline Kavanshi. If you ask me the relationship which President Lungu had with Emeline Kavanshi, you can't believe that President Lungu fired Emeline Kavanshi, because the president had all the powers just to move Emeline Kavanshi from community development to the Ministry of Energy. He had all the powers. But the president, he had to look at the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture? A bigger picture is Zambia, beyond friendship. Okay? The bigger picture is Zambia. So for President Hakainde Hichilema, he has no option but to fire Honorable Masebo, to fire Honorable Kapala, to fire Honorable Kabuswe, to fire Honorable Mutolo.
Yeah.
Even if it's Mutolo Piri, it's long overdue. It is long overdue because Mutolo Piri has embarrassed the president beyond reasonable doubt. He has embarrassed the president, both in parliament and outside parliament. In parliament, we confronted Honorable Mutolo Piri on the floor of the House. And we told Honorable Mutolo Piri that stop the export of maize and mealie meal to the neighboring country. Mutolo Piri, in the usual way of arrogancy, he told Parliament and the nation at large that the policy of the UPND is to treat agriculture as business. And that is our policy as well. That is our policy. But you can't treat it as business when you are trying to wipe all the food security in your country just because you want to treat agriculture as business. We had to secure the food security for our people. Whatever things which you do, first of all, you plan for your people. Okay? So as we anticipated drought, we anticipated the floods, putting into consideration the climate change. So we knew that we may have drought, we may have floods because of this climate change which we are facing. So we had to secure the food for the people of Zambia. Now, Mutolo, as the advisor to the president in the area of agriculture as a minister, he would have told the president, Your Excellency, we cannot go in this path because we are anticipating drought. And if we go on this path, we will face a calamity on our way. But he failed to do that. Do you think the president is happy to get a donation of food from Burundi, where they have been fighting day and night? Are you sure the president is excited to receive food, free food from Tanzania? Are you sure he's excited for the first time? Are you sure? The president is not happy. And to make matters worse, here is the vice president even posting on her page proudly, without shame, that we are going to flag off the arrival of the food. I don't know if it's from Burundi. The vice president, she has lived in this country for so many years. For so many years. Those are the people painting this government black. The vice president would have removed their face in that program. They give it to the DC to show to the people of Zambia that they are not happy that we are in this situation. But proudly, she went to flag off such an embarrassing event. Those are the people who are painting the president black. Because it's not normal for Zambia to get aid from Burundi. Think of it, think about it, Zach. Burundi, they fight every day. They fight every day. But they have the capacity to donate something to us. Zambia, we have never even experienced any civil arrest in our country. We have to be serious. So these ministers, it is not just a matter of flying the flags. Okay? It's a matter of adding value to the well-being of the people. So the president could mean well to the people of Zambia, but his supporters, they are letting him down. That's why we want the president to change the team. Let him change the team. The UPND in Parliament, we have a vibrant and energetic young men and women. Talk about Kangombe from which constituency is this in Western Province? Sasheke. We have Mwandi, MP. We have Chikankata, MP. We have Solwezi East or Solwezi West MP, Kambita. We have Chifubu Member of Parliament. We have a lot, and we have Njamba, MP for Mwembeshi.
Kabushi as well.
We have Kabushi, the caretaker for Kabushi constituency. Okay? So, we have...
Why are you calling him caretaker?
He's a caretaker because the 2026, we would want to
get
that seat back. So, those MPs, plus the 20 million Zambians, the president has a power to appoint. Even this one is so. He can work as a minister. He can work as a minister. He can work as a minister. President Mwanawasa appointed Kazala, a minister, appointed the late Widin Sanda. He appointed George Chilumanda as ministers, young ministers. So the president, he has all the powers. And I can assure you that if the president can change those ministers, I can assure you that come Minister of Agriculture, we want change. Because I'm like this, not as an opposition political party member. I'm talking like this as a stakeholder in the governance of this country. Why am I a stakeholder? I am a Zambian. At the end of the day, I am a Zambian, and I've got a right to condemn, to praise the governance system of this country. When they are doing well, we'll call them and we'll clap for them. When they are doing things which is not correct, we'll tell them that that is our responsibility. Okay? That is our responsibility. And it's very healthy, actually. It is very healthy. And as I alluded to in my preamble, that governance system is more like a family setup. A family setup, we can advise our parents, and the parents can advise us. That is normal. Papa, why do you want to buy a VX when we only need a Corolla? And Papa will say, no, I want this VX, is ABCD, ABCD. No. Papa, we can buy a VX, we can buy even a Hilux for us. I think, my son, you're advising me well. Let me change and let me buy these things.
Let's go political.
Yes.
Because you have political ambitions as well.
Yes.
What we are not sure is that you are all over. All right. There are rumors flying around that you want your Kabushi back in 2026. There are rumors that you want Munali 2026 this time around. There are rumors that you want the top job in at the end of the day. Now, here is the thing. I've interacted with you. I mean, even beyond radio, you have categorically, I don't know if you still stand by that, that if His Excellency Edgar Chagwa is not standing as president, you are going for it. If he is going to stand as president in 2026, that's where you're not clear whether you're going for you're going for constituency level or constituency elections, but you're basically answering me, I'll be his minister. You sound so entitled to be in government next time, especially if President Lungu stands. And if he doesn't, you are so entitled that you will actually be the presidential candidate for Patriotic Front. Where do you stand politically?
Thank you very much. As a politician, Zach, things change as you go. Okay, you know, politics are dynamic, and as you go, there are a lot of things which will change, especially in from now up to 2025. Don't be surprised if you see UPND, other people from UPND. Don't be surprised, because we have a period of positioning, okay? And this period is very critical in a politician's life, positioning. And this positioning comes immediately after the first term of life of parliament. And we are now in second last month of the 5-year term life of parliament. So people now, they will start positioning themselves. And positioning themselves, you may find Bowman in UPND at any time, at any position. You may find Bowman as a president of a political party. So what I can assure you now is that we will be positioning ourselves. There's no need. Wait. There's no need for me to vie for the position of PF when I know that I can't manage to win the national vote. But I can assure you that Bowman's name is an household name in all the 10 provinces of this country. If you have 5 politicians in this country, I am one of those 5 politicians. If you have 2, I am among the 2. And if you have 1, I am there. So for me, this political issues, I know them very well.
Let me bring you to speed with the issue of ECL's eligibility.
Yes.
Okay. My thinking around this is, do you think there will be leadership crisis should ECL be found ineligible to stand in 2026, especially at Patriotic Front level?
No. There won't be.
Why not?
Because President Edgar Chagalongo, like many other democratic president, they know that it is not personal to order. They know that it is not personal to order. Anyone at any time can occupy.
Will you be disappointed if he decides to endorse a different member of the Patriotic Front and not yourself?
No. The issue of presidency, it's a timely issue of presidency. So if it's not your time, you can't be disappointed. There are a lot of factors which will follow for one to be anointed, for one to be elected, for one to be appointed. So last time I was discussing this through the support at the Secretariat when I told my friend Maus Sampa that how can Maus Sampa become president when I'm not president? Because this issue of presidency, there are a lot of procedures which we follow, even at the party level, at a national level. So I can't be disappointed when President Edgar Chagalongo decides to anoint another person to be president of the Patriotic Front. You know, I've talked about positioning. Okay, positioning. I was MMD before joining PF, and I joined PF. And the reason why I joined PF is because of President Edgar Lungu. That's the only reason I joined PF, because President Edgar
You didn't join PF whilst Sata was president, no?
No. I was just working with President Sata. I didn't join PF while Mr. Sata was still president. I joined PF under President Lungu, and the reasons were very simple. For us as MMD youths, we were advocating for the inclusion of young men and women in the governance of this country. We told our elders that we as the young men and women, we are ready to govern this country. And we wanted a passage where our uncles, fathers, aunties can have confidence in us and support us so that we can govern this country while they are enjoying coffee in their farms, enjoying coffee in their homes, so that for us we can bring in a new energy and ideas. President Lungu, when he came into government, he had appointed a lot of young men and women in his team, from the permanent secretary level, the district commissioners, the mayors, councillors, ministers, even his advisors. He had appointed young men and women. And in 2015, we thought of joining the PF. And in 2016, I stood on the PF ticket, and I won the Kabushi City with a landslide. So I joined PF because of Edgar Chagwa Lungu. So for me, I want you, Zach, to be very clear that a politician can move and position himself at any given time, whether if it's a UPND, whether it's a Citizen First, whether it's a socialist. People are now positioning themselves. So my plans, they may change according to the situation in which we'll find ourselves in as we go.
There's word that you have your loyalty has diminished for ECL because of him being part of UKA.
Not at all. The loyalty,
are you still loyal to
the loyalty which I have to ECL and to Madam ECL? It's a son and a father loyalty. Okay, it doesn't mean that I have to be in PF for me to be loyal to Edgar and the family. It doesn't mean that I have to endorse the UKA alliance for me to be loyal to Edgar and the family. The Edgar family, they have done a lot to us as Lusambo's family. Remember, I was given a position to stand as MP for Kabushi constituency under the leadership of Edgar Chagwa Lungu. And I was given an opportunity to serve the people of Zambia for 5 years in 2 critical provinces, one Copperbelt province and Lusaka province. And thank God, I finished my 5-year term as a minister, okay? And I was an involving minister, not a passenger in Edgar Chagwa Lungu's government. I was there and I participated in the governance of this great country, Zambia.
There's also word that you are sort of a neglected member of the PF, neglected in the sense that you're so much lonely, you're alone. At court, you are seen without fellow PF members to sympathize with you. And then people feel that you've been neglected. You're so much a loner now. How true is that?
It is not true. First and foremost, I get a lot of support from my family. I get a lot of support from my wife, my kids, and my closest friends. I'm 100% supported. So the issue for me to be seen with a lot of people at court, it's not necessary. I get a lot of support from the UPND members, ministers. I get a lot of support from PF members, former ministers, and my fellow colleagues in parliament. So I am supported. When you see me at court, I feel comfortable and I feel supported actually to be with my wife. It doesn't mean that I need 10, 20, 40 people for me to be seen that I'm being supported. No, I mean, I get support from all walks of life, including most of ambassadors credited to this country. We talk.
I've seen a lot of photos of you. And one of the photos that I would talk about is a photo that you were captured in the courts, and it's going around saying, with captions as "Once upon a time, a bulldozer who abused his authority by beating people during COVID." Now that you are where you are today, do you look back and regret your actions? Especially that people talk about you like this?
Zambians, some of the people of this country, they don't differentiate between abuse and control. Okay? There's a thin line between abuse and control. What we used to do, we used to control the situation, and we used to safeguard the people of Zambia. There's no one who whipped anybody. People of Zambia, sometimes they like exaggerating issues.
Got physical. Physical.
There's nowhere where we got physical. My job was to give a political will. That's why in my team I had technocrats. These technocrats from the Office of the Permanent Secretary, the Office of the District Commissioner, the Office of Provincial Health Director, the Office of Provincial Commanding Officer, Police, and many other government institutions. Those are the people who are doing the operations. Of course, aided by the minister of the province. And I'm proud of the work which we did in this country. Zach, we saved millions of Zambians' lives. And I'm a proud minister to have taken that position. I am a proud minister because he had contributed to the well-being of our people. Remember, I ended up contracting COVID myself. I was in Levi Manawasa Hospital for 14 days. I was in ICU for 3 days, okay? Because of putting myself to the people of Zambia as a servant. I wanted to protect the people of Zambia. In the long run, I got COVID myself. So instead of people of Zambia clapping for us, they are trying to trivialize the work which we did, okay? That work which we are doing, it was between life and death. But because I decided to save the people of Zambia in bad and good situations, you saw me working 24/7, trying to safeguard the lives of the people. Today, when the president is giving awards, I expected myself and Chitalo Chilufya to be given an award. We worked tirelessly with our fellow technocrats to see to it that we safeguard the people of Zambia when COVID was at peak.
So you'd be like to be rewarded for
exactly.
that. You'd like to be awarded for that.
Not rewarded. I want to be recognized. When those pictures you are talking about are going through social media, they were supposed to go through social media with a caption, "The gallant men and women we have in this country who fought COVID and cholera beyond all odds." We did that with Chilufya and many other technocrats. People, they were dying, Zach. People are dying. But us, we had to put the safeguarding of the people first, the safety of the people first. So instead of
So those that you went and confronted in some hidden gatherings were just stubborn citizens that were
exactly
going against.
The one wedding which we went to stop in Emersdale for our colleagues, the Asian wedding. The owner of the house, he came to me, Bowman, I'm very sorry about this. We knew that this was wrong, what we were doing, but we did it because all the cards went out and the people, they have moved from other parts of the world to come and be part and parcel of this wedding. From now, the way you have come, I'm going to stop this wedding. Don't even go there yourself, Bowman. And I said, no, we are going to wait outside because when we are fighting this fight against COVID, we need support from the general public for them to do the right thing. And within 10 minutes, that wedding was cancelled and the people were dispersed and we went. That is one situation which I can tell you that people helped government to fight the COVID-19.
Let me get back to the Patriotic Front.
Yes.
I have a question from our partner radio station, Tuta FM, and this is a. I have two questions, by the way, from our partner radio station. I'll read the second one first, and then I'll read the first one second. Do you see any quick end to the leadership problems in Patriotic Front involving ECL, Mao's Sampa, and now Chavinga? And if these issues prolong, how much do you think this will affect the chances of Patriotic Front in as far as 2026 general polls are concerned? That's the first question. The second question is, morning, Mr. Lusambo. A mining expert, Jacob Mwanza, has urged government to consider finding another investor to run the Konkola Copper Mines PLC. Engineer Mwanza says Vedanta has proved that it has no capacity to run such a giant mining firm. Do you think there is a short-term solution to the challenges at KCM and for the people of Chingola in particular, and Copper Belt in general?
Thank you very much. I'll go straight to the first message,
Right.
Zach.
Yeah.
You know, as a party, we have a constitution, and this constitution, it's the guide how we should conduct ourselves in all aspects, okay? Including the way you should elect your leader of our party.
Right.
All those things are enshrined in our constitution, and this is a Patriotic Front constitution. Anything outside that, it's illegal. Anything outside that is illegal. So for us, our aim is to make sure that we put the party together. In fact, it is only Mao Sampa. Chavinga is just an non-entity. We can't even talk about Chavinga. Chavinga is just excited soul, and we should actually control him because the way he does things, he may crash on the way. I know Chavinga very well. We worked with Chavinga in MMD, and I want to advise my friend. I do call him, actually, and I do advise him that this is not the way to go, okay? The president was talking about hyenas in Southern Province, and Chavinga is the best description which we can give him because he wants to be a voucher, and the hyenas are vouchers. They see opportunity and they want to jump on it. Okay, there is no opportunity here, Robert. There is no opportunity here. What is here is for us to come together as one family and do the right thing, okay, which will be healthy to the governance system of this country. Even the current government will benefit from the healthy opposition in the country. Okay, it is not always that opposition is it is bad to have opposition in the country. Those criticisms which they do, they strengthen us so that we can work well in government. Okay, it's very important to have someone to check in your life.
Yeah.
Even you.
So do you think these will be sorted out as quick as possible?
We are human
The
beings.
fear is if they prolong.
No, we are human beings, and each and every human being, we have the inner us. After coming out of the public, we are together. You are alone in your room. You are sleeping. Your inner you to talk to you and say, "This is wrong. What you are doing. This is wrong." There are two faces in a human being. The first one is this public person. Okay, you are talking. You are even doing things just to please other people. But there is an inner you when you are alone and you are thinking, you are reflecting on these things. That Zach who talks to you when you are alone, that is a Zach. That is a mouth samper. That is a Chavinga who would want to see and come back to their senses and say, okay, this was wrong. And let us move as a team and we forge ahead. I know Mao Sampa. I've worked with Mao Sampa as member of Lusaka City Council. He was the mayor. I worked with him. I campaigned for him, and we won. Okay, Mao Sampa is very reasonable. Okay, he's a very reasonable person, and when you talk to him like this, you see the sense of humor in Mao Sampa. He's not excited. Mao Sampa is not excited, but he doesn't like to be taken advantage of. Okay, me, I've worked with Mao Sampa for quite some time. Okay, he had a problem with my minister of local government by then, Mr. Charles Banda.
Yeah.
Okay, I was always in the middle of Mao and Mr. Charles Banda. Okay, I wanted the harmony in these two officers. One was operating in my province, and one was operating at a national level, so that we can work as a team. So I know Mao Sampa is a very reasonable young man, and I talk to Mao Sampa. He's my friend. I talk to Mao Sampa. He's my friend. I talk to Chavinga as a friend. I talk to Chavinga. Chavinga, what is all this nonsense you are doing? Okay? What is all this nonsense you are doing? Okay? Why are you trying to be a person you can't be? Eh? Why can't you just be normal? Why can't you just be normal? And in politics,
it should be frustrating for someone in charge of mobilization like yourself, no?
It is not frustrating because I know the people I work with. I know me, when I sit down with you, I will tell you the character of my brothers and sisters in Southern Province and what type of politics I'm supposed to do in Southern Province. How can I mobilize in Southern Province? I know the character of my people in Western Province and what type of politics I should take into Western Province. I know my people in Northwestern Province. I know my people in Luapula Province, Copper Belt, Lusaka, and each and every province. You know, as a politician, you're supposed to know the people you're dealing with. For example, if you move me from here to go into Luapula, the politics of Luapula Province are totally different from Lusaka Province, totally different from Copper Belt Province. And the politics of Copper Belt for Lusaka Province are totally different from Copper Belt Province. Up to now, the people, they don't know that Copper Belt Province is not one. Copper Belt Province is in two parts. Okay? There is urban and rural Copper Belt Province. So if you go to Copper Belt Province and you go with the politics of Lusaka Province into Copper Belt Province, you won't succeed because the other part of Copper Belt Province will repel. Okay? So I know the people I deal with. I know them very well, and I know how to handle these people. So I'm not frustrated. I'll continue working with our people so that we can do the right thing. You know the right thing to do, Zach. Even though I say I don't want to be with with PF, I want to join UPND, I shouldn't mess up where I'm coming from. If I mess up where I'm coming from, I won't be trusted in my next camp. I won't be trusted in my next camp. Even the way of working with the next camp, they will be working with me. Reliable. Okay? So the way Chabinga is doing this thing is just destroying his political career. Whether he maneuver to go to UPND, the people, the members of the UPND will be saying, Chabinga, how can you trust him? How can you trust Chabinga? For God's sake, how can you trust him? So as a politician, you should know your games. You should know, the chess you are doing, you're playing. It is not just a matter of coming out and think you are supporting President Hakainde Hichilema. The moment President Hakainde Hichilema just know that, this is how Chabinga behaves. So he can even do this to me.
Let's go to the second question.
So for me, let us not destroy where we're coming from. Yes, you can join any political party at any time. As politicians, we can move at any time when you see that you can add value to the other side from this side. Yeah. It is allowed to move. Even Bowman today, he can move into Socialist Party. He can move into UPND. It is not a crime. Okay? It is not a crime. It is more like football teams, Manchester United, Chelsea, and name them. Okay, we have been seeing players moving from one team to another. The most important thing is, do you believe in what you are doing as a politician?
Let's go to the second question. Do you think that there's an immediate solution to KCM's issue?
The second solution, the only solution which we have for KCM,
immediate
solution is to make sure that we start running KCM ourselves. So, in fact, I wanted to sit down with the Jito, okay? I wanted to sit down with Jito to advise the president that the solution of KCM, not taking it back to the foreign investment. The solution of KCM is to make sure that we find the money as Zambian government, so that we can run that mine. We can run it. We need roads in Northwestern Province. We need roads in Copper Belt Province. We can only do those roads if we have our own money. We can only have our own money if we have where to get that money. And where to get that money is KCM. Where to get money is Kajam in Rufanyama. Zach, when I was a minister for Copper Belt Province, I almost crossed Kajam. And the reasons are simple. Since Kajam was established in that area, they don't have a title. They were not paying ground rates to the council of Rufanyama. They had nothing to do with the corporate social responsibility. I engaged the entire management for Kajam, and I told them I'll be closing this mine because, first and foremost, can you just see the road which leads to your mine? The road is in a deplorable state. Can the Rufanyama Council, no money when we have giants in the mining sector in Rufanyama and grizzly mining? I wanted to close that. And we started process of giving Kajam a title. And I hope and trust that the Minister of Mines and Copper Belt Province Minister, they have worked and they have picked where we had left for Rufanyama Kajam mine to have a title and to pay the loyalties backdated so that we can be clean on our books.
Let me take phone calls.
So the issue to do with KCM, we have no two ways about it. We have no two ways about it. We want KCM back to the people of Zambia. We want Mupani to be under the people of Zambia. Zach, this country is a very rich country. We don't need IMF for us to survive. We don't need IMF for us to survive. We don't need World Bank for us to survive. We don't need handouts for us to survive. We need to be self-reliant for us to survive. But how can we survive? By engaging ourselves directly in the mining of our natural resources. There is no way, Zach, on this age and era, we can have Lusaka as a capital city, 2 minutes drive into out of CBD. We start seeing the sharks. How? Because by this time, our country is supposed to come up with a deliberate policy for home empowerment for the citizen of this country. Instead of seeing these sharks, we start seeing a normal home or houses for our people, so that they can even buy it at higher purchase. Why should you have Kanyama today? Why should you have Ngungu today? Why should you have Mississippi?
This was under your provincial leadership.
It was under provincial leadership. When you go to council, when you go to provincial office there, all these were supposed to be transformed. We were supposed to transform Kanyama, we were supposed to transform Mississippi and Chiboria. We were supposed to transform.
You had started working on that?
We have started working on that. The master plan is there. If the council, the mayor for Lusaka is listening to me, Madam Chilando, she will agree with me that we had even received investors who were willing to partner with Zambians so that we transform those areas.
Let me take phone calls on 0955-221515. My guest is Mr. Bowman Lusambo, former Kabushi Member of Parliament and former Lusaka Province Minister. And we would like to hear from you. Remember, we are also live on Rooster FM in Ndola on 91.3 FM. Good morning and welcome to the program. Please give us your name. Give us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is King Freddy from Madidoa, but 25 years in Madidoa. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, and how are you? Honorable, Abantunga Varanda Timulabaoni, Mure Twitter to the Mishindika, putting at a tempo kula Mishindika, and Abantu Varanda Mulavalo, Neva Catampo Kula, Momona Bowman Lusambo, Bavare, Sare, and Danama Katas, Momona Kumuntu Takova Sumo. And then secondary, either Sida PF, either by a festival of fire, Momuneke 8 Gatagorum, working in a 26 PF ticket. Night Gatagorum for Tabore upon 4 Zambia, going for penny of Ungo Kutura, I put to for a way repo. For a church number in the Valley Room of Patriotic Front, in a election 26. Gavana for in a election 26, but I rec up here for the participate and every by election, Yama Councillors. Like if you have to can you participate, which I see some. Usenga nibena ba HH ngatwale ba lesho participate in election usenga bari winile ngataba winile so echa tulera ndachakuta ba HH ngamuleko kuina ma election not if you are Mr. Independent ya wine ko mwatuma makada zile nuka nkulo mporo kipepo kula makati total violence kuina ma election kuina pe mtende that is democracy again last in Bowman Lusambo. I want to encourage you to stand in Munari for 2026 as MP. I'm ready to campaign for you. I know you are going to deliver in Munari, not if you are making Posha. Before I let you look Munari, Sukul Conso, Coapitira, Tabatara, Letapol, Jama, Kiamaka, Mark Graveo, Valona, the Champion Chassis, Yetokuma Graveo. Unakuma Titewati, you MP, Wakuma, Waku Wakchong, Adi the Taco, Katala, which are under Caribomba, number of making Posha 0. Mkasotinga na ida issue ya kucha konkula ida baita ZZ school pacha kongula school bali kunyapo grade 7 at safari njende pati bali kunisha medical structure ni spetra kula ya ndema classroom so that abana batampo kula sambira o chesto nyavonde kamanga abana baya kuda nomba kaya kusefika kunyapo grade 7 pacha ndika kitwa ponse pale mama legal structure planning amwa ukazo so plan irarangisho kati apaso pa pali amapompi akutatola market yapi amenze kuti mwaitira market mwashinga mnamunsi vari kuti mwairiko structure matimposhara same I told him that I'm going to work on it until now savala so tingana ndakakutati please the Honorable Bowman Lusambo stand for MP as a MP in 2026. We are ready to campaign for you and we are going to make victory in 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, King Fred, for your comment. I've got Obriano Chitalu on Facebook says, good morning, Zach and Bowman Chilosha Lusambo. I'm always happy to listen to you whenever you are articulating governing issues. When you were Lusaka Province Minister, sanity in the city, and you purely accommodated everyone. My question is, if given an opportunity to work in any position under the UPND New Dawn government, are you going to accept? There is another one similar from Elias Chipinia. Chipinia says, ask the Honorable if he can work with us, UPND. We need him in our mighty UPND. That's Elias. Let me give you the third one before I take another call. Debbie Miles. Debbie Miles says, we are watching. The problem with you guys is that you were overzealous. You were violent. You were careless talkers and spenders. Whatever we are now, blame it on yourselves. Otherwise, you are right on Mutolopiri. I agree. All right. Let me give you another call. Good morning.
Exactly. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Your name, sir, and where you're calling us from?
Mr. Lusambo, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
The bulldozer.
What is your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling you from Chuempara, Tingola. I'm Mr. Douglas Muni.
Mr. Douglas Muni.
Lusambo, yes. Lusambo, ukulando kusuma. Mwempalo me. Mwenkala katimba wa PF. Na mitote nishako evati. Nde kunkula ndipanje. Kula dokusuma. Uteko mtima. In my own thinking, you have matured politically. Mr. Lusambo, PF, Badefwa Edgar Lungu, Agwerepo. Nabamchinga wa Constitutional Court. Edgar Lungu, will be a running mate. What we want is Edgar Lungu to be on the ballot paper. Period. Edgar Lungu, Wamchinga wa Constitutional Court. Who demand is him to be a running mate. All we want is Edgar Lungu, Ukuba on the ballot paper. Lastly, but not the least, 20% program, let the people talk for Tuesday. Na di pushe ba garing combo. Ukowa kuri grand corruption kuri CDF. Na be pushe kuri police force bakula kariro. It's costing 800,000 kwacha. Tore director cost 850,000 kwacha. Barusa garing combo freedom of child report. When is the person who approved the construction of storage at 800,000 quarter? What more evidence does he want? He, minister, approves a storage at 800,000 quarter. Is that not the action? We are sick and tired of you pending. Valea.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You have matured politically. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Douglas from Chingola. I'll let you respond quickly, then I can take another set of calls.
Thank you very much.
Two calls if you can join UPND, and if you were, would you agree? So
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Douglas from Chingola. Mr. Douglas has put in across the issues to do with corruption, especially in the CDF. And I'm happy that he posed the same question according to him on Let the People Talk when my elder brother had a program at Radio Phoenix. For me, what I can comment on this issue is that CDF funds are people's funds, and people's funds has to be counted for because this is taxpayers' money. And I hope and trust that the officers which we have, institution officers in this country like SEC and DEC, police, who are the government watchdogs, they're supposed to move in and investigate this matter because it's a national matter. It is involving government and taxpayers' money. We should use taxpayers' money prudently, and I hope and trust that this issue can be investigated. And I will be engaging the Minister of Local Government, who is a brother to me, because there are other issues which I want to understand in the way CDF is being utilized. And I can't start divulging that information on this radio because I have access to his office. So I'll be going to his office one of these days so that we can discuss on these issues. And if it means advising in one way or another, I will advise because I have access to that office. And that is how it's supposed to be on issues to do with the governance. The only office where I can't go is office of Minister of Mines, because I want to go to the new minister and advise the new minister on how we can move forward.
Why not? You don't talk?
Well, he was my mayor, he was my chairperson under PF. Kabuswe crossed to UPND on adoption day. So to me, it's still PF and serving under UPND.
So why wouldn't you advise? Why would you want a new minister? If you are to take advice to that office, there should be a new minister.
Yes, because himself, he has failed.
No, but have you spoken to him?
I wanted to speak to him, but the way has been coming out, especially the last time when he took the bill to Parliament, and the bill which was rejected, and I crossed my heart and I said, okay, this one is not part and parcel of the leadership which we need in this country, because the leadership which we need in this country is a leadership to support the people of Zambia, indigenous Zambians, not a leadership to support foreign investors alone. So Kabuswe, for me, it's a cross chapter.
Let's move to the next one. The issue that is coming out strongly is...
Can you join UPND?
Can you? Let me read you one more message because it's in the same direction. This is from Moses Soneka, who says, good morning, Zach. And since Zambia is a democratic country,
yes,
why can't Honorable Lusambo help and work together with HH, since he has helped other previous head of states? We only have one Zambia. Have you ever been asked to work with this government by its membership or leadership before?
Several times I've received, I interact with these people.
And the president himself, has he?
No. They are my brothers and sisters. Me, I'm Lamba, and most of the people who are in the positions in UPND, they are Tongas, Lozi, Lenges, and name them.
If the president called you, would you accept to work with him? Or you would want certain conditions put in place?
As a politician, we don't put conditions because we don't trade. We work for the people. We are servants of the people. We don't put a price tag on you because my aim is to make sure that we serve the people of
So
Zambia.
Yes or no, would you?
I can work with any political party. I can work with the PF. I can work with the UPND. I can work with any. I'm a politician. My job is to add value to the well-being of the people. I can work with anyone, but the level I have reached, it's a level where I expect Jack to call me, Zach to call me, Bowman, come. I want to be helped. I want you to help me, okay? I want you to help me. I want to work with you. That is the only respect politicians need, okay? You can work with anyone at any given time.
With the manner that you lost your seat in Kabushi, I would think that you would not want to hear anything or any call from the other side.
The reason why we go to church is to go and repent, because we are sinners. So with the manner we lost our seats in Kabushi and Kwacha.
You're not bitter anymore.
You are bitter, but we need people to apologize that, okay, this and we did this. Why can't we together? So working together, it's upon, okay, I can work with you, but this is what you did. And this was wrong. And the wrong is a wrong. Whether you are my sister, you are my wife, a wrong is a wrong. So for me, working with a political party, we can work with political parties. Anyone can work with any political party as a politician. And the only thing which I don't want to be part and parcel of is to put a condition. No condition. Let us work for the people of Zambia. This is one Zambia, one nation, and we expect the political environment to be safe in our country. Okay, we want to share our ideas to the people of Zambia. And the politician, we have radio interviews, TV interviews, and public rallies to engage with the people of Zambia. So I would love the environment in the political fraternity to be conducive, so that each and every political party, they can have a share in this conducive environment. And we want the police to distance themselves from the political fraternity. Let the police be police, and let the politicians be politicians. When you come to you, the police, to say we want a political rally, we don't come to ask for your protection. No, we just want to inform you that we are having a political rally this side. Each political party, we have a department which we call a security department. This security department is responsible to make sure that you have a meeting within the confines of the law. We don't need police. UPND, they don't need police. Socialist Party, they don't need police. Police are there to be notified and to tell them that we'll be having a rally in Mandevo. It's up to us. It's up to UPND, because even in UPND, we have a department called a security department, to make sure that you hold this meeting within the confines of the law. Even in during campaigns, do you see police coming to man the campaign rallies during elections? No. The police will just move and see the situation. Oh, the situation is okay. Off they go. Because two police officers, there's nothing they can do against the 15,000 people attending that rally. So for me, I want a police which will be away from the political fraternity. We need a police where I will go to the police, they will treat me as a Zambian, not treating me bearing in mind that is PF, or treating me bearing in mind that is UPND. No, that is not a police.
Let me take some more calls. Good morning. Good morning.
Francis Mumbintika East, Mwanaumu is calling you from Lusaka town. Good morning, you Honorable Bowman Lusambo. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well, thank you, sir. How are you?
No, we are fine, and we love you so much, and we miss you, and I admire your firmness and braveness. You're one of those people, like you said, if there are 5 people on the political scene that are known everywhere and who can do the job, I agree with you. You are somebody who's been there for the country. You take a state the way it is, not at the state being a big spoon. No, you are just the way you are. So keep it up, Bowman Lusambo. Now, I want to say one thing to you, and Zach, sorry, I agree. Greetings to you as well.
Thank
Zach.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, quickly. I want to talk about the Electoral Commission of Zambia, Bowman Lusambo. Come 2026 elections, are you comfortable under the composition of the Electoral Commission of Zambia that this country will have free and fair elections under your analysis and what you've gone through yourself? You are a practical example of somebody who's gone through certain things here and there that you've contested in court and things have gone the other way. So is the country safe going under this composition of the ECZ, the chairmanship of whoever is there now and other directors who are there? That is one thing. And then the other issue, the gold scandal that happened at the airport. If you're president of the Republic of Zambia and then such a thing happened, an aeroplane parking at presidential pavilion and the gold changing into copper zinc, how are you going to handle such a situation if you're president of this country? And then was there fair justice that was meted out on that issue? Because right now we only have maybe one person, this Kasanda, however, who is the incarcerated person. Then the others, we don't know how things, the Egyptians and everybody else have gone away, and the country has lost revenue. So how are you going to handle this issue? What kind of advice would you give President Akande Chilema and the security wings that were involved in investigating that matter? Because as a citizen, I'm not satisfied with whatever happened there.
Thank you,
also,
Francis.
The issue of Zambia.
I can only take two. I can only take two of your questions, unfortunately.
Okay,
thank you very much.
No,
all
no
right.
problem, Mazak.
Cheers.
No problem.
All
Thank you.
all right. There you go. So let me take another one on 0955-221515. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just turn down the volume on your radios. Good morning.
Mwashibukeni bazaki.
Quiet.
Baboma ni mwashibukeni.
Iyo twashibuka fe bwino mwabuka shana ine mulempo sha.
Aona buka fe bwino.
Mulempo sha kwa muchilamba na nemo ndafwayo
kumva
omulaka wa Yesule umfika kwa radio.
Tazuru kumutendere.
Wazuru kumutendere.
Kwa yao kanabe satire mifuluka kumutendere. Turekala kwa tilimbituli bana banchiwa. Aba bana nkane bayo mpibeso aba katwe ngabarubira kurisa barireka no kumureka batambira kwa TV ba Mike Mposha katwishe na dio bamonekerepo kanabesa 2026 tremi bwesha hapo na baisi yo tremi fwafu bena Zambia twachura pafula amalaiti amenshi amacommodity tafrenda bwimwe fintu muzanda kairi ichipani chaba UPND chabantu abasambirira sana bena fyonse chapa mapepa but background turechula baboma ni tremi fwana baisi eo tremi bwesha putamule foro mule fa tremi bwesha hapo 2026 abo batenda tashabo shashani fwe bare fwani fwe bena Zambia na totera mubombe bwino
totela mkwai Zulu 0955. Let me take another one. 0955-221515 is the number that you are calling us on, and we would like to hear from you. Let me see if I can pick up a message from our SMS line. All right, so before we get to the SMS line, let me see if I can get this call for now. Good morning.
Hello,
good morning. Welcome. Your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Jerry Siankwede. I'm calling you from Mackenzie.
Siankwede.
Yes, moderator.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, person Posheko Bowman Lusambo Okabuino.
Na Okabuino.
Okabuino. Yeah, Bowman Lusambo. Niko na question ya vili kulimwe. Bowman Lusambo. Muna nkala kum government actually munambira mu 11 years kapena 10 years ya PF manje chamene mufuna mukabwerere chamene munasiyani cyane chamene mufunisisa chikuru chamene simungasirire banzanu mamene barulinyira ba UPND for apa bagalido kwanza na 5 years chamene muruisha chikuru ni cyane. That's number one question. Number two, Bowman Lusambo. If ingati mwenzi ufuna kuti munkalirire mu PF or government ya PF inkalirire. Why mwenzi osirira abantu bamenezo menyo mu makombo like Kanyama constituency where I'm staying. Bantu benzo menyo wa Bowman Lusambo simwenzo kamba mongo mamene mukambira. Mwenzo chita cyane apa ndipo pamene mukamba kuti malali muzambo sirira abantu bazambo nkala kuri beba police. But bantu benzo menyo ise mu Cairo Road. I'm in Cairo Road now. I'm a taxi driver. tezomenyera kufana chekaredi kumenyera kuri ba PF bamene makadazi bano maita mene mufuna chikuru kuti mukabwere mufuna mukambe kutimenya futi oro nchanja amene mufuna because tinkala surprise kupeza kuti mufuna mukabwerere ba Bowman Lusambo mufuna mukachite chani chikuru niuzenkoni mufuna answer ma-answers kuri imwe bamoderate sikomo kwambiri mbenze bwino but mubafuze ba Lusambo mufuna answer today.
Thank you very much. I've got a few messages. Let me quickly read one for you. Zach, good morning. Sometimes I love to hear people like Bowman Lusambo telling the president to fire mines minister because he has failed. When his boss Lungu kept mines minister, then when there were no mines operating in PF time. For Agriculture Minister Mtolo, who doesn't know that you, Lusambo, got farmers' maize without paying, continue comforting you as PF, and come 2026, you have no candidate as PF. This is Kakoma in Kamwala South. Another one here is good morning, Honorable Bowman Lusambo and Zach. My surprise is that all praise singers are busy cheating the president that he is going to win the general elections instead of encouraging the president to actually make the livelihood of Zambian citizens better and fulfill all the promises they made than continue lamenting every day that he is going to win the general elections. Even Arabi was cheated by the same cadres. Let those who surround the president tell the president the truth, that things are bad in the compounds before it's too late. People are failing to have 3 decent meals in a day, but UPND government wants everyone to clap for them. UPND to see a government like this, the Chipante government. Very sad. This is Bonnie Kaoma, who says it's from within Lusaka. I'll let you respond. You wanted to respond to
my taxi driver,
Mr. Siankwende.
Mr. Siankwende. The reason why I've been fighting to come back into government is to come and add value to the people of Zambia's lives. The things which we planned and the things which we promised to do for the people of Zambia, those are the things which I want to come and do it. You are talking about me being in government. I've been in government, you are right. I've been in government for 5 years under the leadership of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Now, if you are questioning me of coming back into government, I want you to question Madam Nalumango, who has come back in government after being in government for so many years. I want to question you to question Mr. Musokotwane, who have been in government before and is still in this government and what they want. And I want you to question Minister Mutati, who has been literally maybe in the last 5 or 6 republics. So for me, I've just been a minister for 5 years, Adara, just 5 years. And in these 5 years, I was just on training to know and put things together, how I can serve the people of Zambia nicely. And you don't want me to come back, sure. You don't want me to be president, Adara. You don't want to have His Excellency President BCL.
But Adala. He says he's been tormented by how
it is not true, Adala.
Patriotic Front behaved towards certain individuals.
Violence is bad. Violence in UPND, violence in MMD, violence in PF, violence in any other political party is bad. And we condemn violence. And what we need to do as politicians, all of us, we need to condemn violence. And we need to engage our youths in a more meaningful activities such as entrepreneur and other leadership activities instead of using them as tools of violence. So, sir, yes, violence is bad, and I can't deny we had violence in UPND, we had violence in PF, we had violence in MMD, and we want to say no to violence. If I say we had no violence in UPND, in PF, I'll be lying. I'll be lying to myself, and I won't be called a leader if I should the bad things which we used to see. And this is the reason why we need us as leaders, the younger generation, the 21st century, we need to call a spade a spade. I want to see my brother Ruswaniso to say violence is bad. And as UPND, we had violent people, and we need to make sure that we condemn this vice in the political fraternity. That, my brother, it was bad, and it is still bad. We have been seeing people being injured, and I don't take pride in seeing my fellow Zambian fighting because of politics. It is very unfortunate because as political leaders, Zach, we meet, we share coffee together. Siakwende. Ifwe tulakumana. I meet with UPND ministers, I meet with UPND leadership. We eat together, we drink together, we joke, and we go. We have never fought, okay? We have never fought as leaders. It is very surprising that the people who are fighting, some of them, they can't even understand these political issues, but they just see, oh, this is PF, this is UPND, we are enemies. We are not enemies. We are not enemies. That's why when we sit as leaders from different political parties, as we fight using our manifestos, that's what we fight using our, our manifesto is better than yours. Look at the agriculture sector, look at the energy sector, look at the education sector. That's how we fight. We don't have physical fights. After discussing meaningful discussion, we have a drink together, we dance, off we go. So those people have been fighting because of PF. Those people have been fighting because of UPND. Bala mibe pa. Whether you're PF, whether UPND, you are a Socialist Party, you just have to refuse, because forever and former leaders, we don't fight. We don't fight.
Let's go to Francis Mumbi with his question about
Francis
the Electoral Commission.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, definitely the Electoral Commission of Zambia, we need to be vigilant, and we need to have independent commissioners, independent chairperson, independent commissioners, because we all know that 2026 will be crucial, okay, to UPND, to PF, to Socialist Party, and many other. It will be crucial because it is the 2026. It is more like a 1991 tripartite elections. It is similar to 1991. But I know that the Electoral Commission, it's a people's commission, and political parties have to be engaged so that the political parties, they will talk about things which they are not comfortable with until it is 100% agreed, because the Electoral Commission, they have no right to do things on their own, because they are just referees in this game of elections. They are just referees, and they have to agree on the concerns of the political players. The issue to do with the gold scandal. We have,
if you were president.
If you are president, first and foremost, President Hakainde Hichilema, he has appointed the Director of Public Prosecution, who is a young and vibrant, and his aim is to protect the judicial system of of this country where prosecutions are concerned and where finding a person with or taking that person to court. I can assure you that DPP Gilbert is a young and a vibrant Zambian, and we expect a lot from him. And I don't want to draw in the issue which are in court. What I can assure you is that we wait and see. But if I was president, president's power is to make sure that they do things right. I would have fired the Minister of Mines because these whole things started when the Minister of Mines communicated to us that it was not God, it was copper. It was not God, it was zinc. So the Minister of Mines is not an expert in these things. He has to work with the technocrats who are 100% covenant with these things and see how they can communicate to us. So the Minister of Mines, he has shown the people of Zambia that he's incompetent. He's not fit to be in that office. So if I was I was president, I would have fired the Minister of Mines and look into the security system, because operating at the airport is a very sensitive area. So the security system is supposed to be in check. And as a president, I know that you would have taken that position to put the security wing in check. The issue of DPP, I think the DPP is capable and a vibrant and a young person, because those are the people we needed in these positions. We needed the people, young people who can work and work for the people of Zambia. So far for us, I'm in court, mind you. I'm in court, and I should not come here and say, no, the DPP is wrong. The DPP, no. The DPP, we all know that he's a lawyer, and some of us, we knew the DPP before he became the DPP. And what we can only say is that let us pray for him for a good health and for wisdom, because that office is not a simple office. It's a very difficult office, and he will perform his duties beyond above board.
Your concluding remarks.
The concluding remarks, I want to urge the people of Zambia to remain calm. This is our country. We have only one Zambia. We should not try and put Zambia on fire. Let us use each and every opportunity to resolve our issues through dialogue. For me, I want to come and govern a country which is an organized country, a country which is corrupt-free country, a country which have jobs for our people. That is a country which I want to come and govern. My appeal is to President Hakainde Hichilema to reach out to his brother, Edgar Chagwa Lungu, so that we can reduce or bring the tension which is in this country, political tension, to zero. Because the political tension which is in this country, it is not healthy. It is not healthy. As a president of the Republic, he can reach out to President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Let them discuss. We have only one Zambia, and we have only one people. So we want this country to be protected. And the protection of this country is both the current president and the former president to sit down and have their issues resolved. And those people who are advancing hate between President Hakainde Hichilema and President Edgar Lungu, they should stop doing that, because the consequences will be ghastly to contemplate. the consequences will be bad to contemplate. Me, I have seen problems in the country, not countries, which started like just praying, but it entered into a bigger problem. So for me, I would want and love to see President Hakainde Hichilema and President Lungu sit and resolve whatever issues which are there. Na imwe bakandile both sides. Bakandile both sides. From President Lungu's camp, from Hakainde Hichilema's, President Hakainde Hichilema's camp. Come out of these issues. Come out of these issues. You don't know what you are creating. You don't know what you are creating. We need the health relationship between the former president and the current president. And the former president has been a president for 7 years, and he has worked as a minister for 3 years. So he has been in government for 10 years. And we want his experience, the people of Zambia, to benefit from his experience. The president is in his government for 3 years. And we want the two to work together. Let them work together. Let them work together. We have only one Zambia, and we need to help one another. This issue of tug of war between President Hakainde Hichilema and President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, it's not healthy. It is not healthy. It's not necessary. It is not necessary. President Hakainde Hichilema, he has the political party. President Lungu has a political party. But what we need harmony. We need the two to sort out their issues, if there are any, so that we can move as a united nation.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much, sir.
And I can only wish you all the best. That was our guest in Mr. Bowman Lusambo, former Kabushi Member of Parliament and former Lusaka Province Minister. I would like to thank our partner radio stations, that is Tuta FM in Mansa, for having carried this program live. Also, those that carried programs live, Mchinga Radio in Chinsali. Thank you very much. iWave FM in Chingola, Spice FM in Kabwe, and Rusta FM in Ndola. And from us all is thank you very much. And it's goodbye to you all. Take care of yourselves and more so of each other. We will be back again next week. Goodbye.